Hello, listeners of Debut Story Channel. Dear friends, in life, fame and money are things that people often pursue. Some people strive for their whole lives. Some people let it flow like water. Some people sacrifice everything to get those things. In today's story, Debut Story sends you a story with many attractive details that will bring you to extremely strong emotional supplies, with love to exploit, with a desire for happiness, with a tragic end, and above all, the desire for a peaceful escape for people of good will in a life full of traps. Before entering the world of the story, please remember to support Debut Story and the program's crew by subscribing to the Story Channel, liking, and sharing the video. Right now, I invite you to join me in the story. My name is Mai Tao. I am 19 years old this year. I have divorced my husband and have a 3-year-old daughter named Bong. I am very proud because I am a beautiful girl. I am 1.65 meters tall, with perfect measurements of 90-60-90. My skin is white and pink. My face is extremely charming, with a straight heart-shaped mouth, sparkling eyes, and a beautiful smile. I am the beauty queen of my village, but because I am beautiful, my life is filled with many scandals and a messy marriage. Since I was in 8th grade, I was only 14 years old, but my foundation had already developed like a young woman, and at that time there were many guys who were attracted to me. By the time I was 15, I already knew what love and dating were. Because I fell in love early and often skipped school to hang out with my lover, my motivation was less transparent. So after finishing 9th grade, I also quit school and went to work with my boyfriend. At that time, my mother scolded me a lot. She forced me to watch high school, but I didn't watch this. She locked me at home, so I sneaked out to have sex with my boyfriend. If I didn't expect it, I would always leave home as requested. I followed my boyfriend to his house and lived like a married couple. My parents went to find me. They came to pick me up, but I avoided them and didn't go home. All the destruction. At that time, I was already branded as running away from home to follow a man, but I also thought it was normal and there was nothing to be ashamed of. I stayed at my boyfriend's house for a week. Then my boyfriend's mother bathed me and said some very harsh words, so I went home. When I got home, my parents beat me, but I just kept my face expressionless. Then my son listened to his mother and abandoned me. My first love broke up. I was depressed and went drinking with friends. Then I met another man. He was 10 years older than me, had a good family, and drove a car. A handsome and rich man like that, who wouldn't like it? So I accepted his love after a week of being sober. Having a gallant and generous boyfriend, I was often taken out to eat, go shopping, and go to the beach. Having average friends and having money to spend freely, who wouldn't like it? At that time, I went to a motel with my boyfriend 3 times a week. I often spent the night with my boyfriend. My parents couldn't do anything for me. No matter how much they beat me, I was still the same and couldn't change. If they were stressed, I would run away from home to follow my boyfriend, because my mother was afraid that I would run away from home. So instead of stressing me, she turned around and flattered me to reduce my outings. But I was still the same. But after only 3 months of dating and making love to each other in a motel, I broke up with my boyfriend because he had someone new. I wasn't sad at that time, because breaking up is quite normal. Besides, for a beautiful girl like me, there are guys waiting in long lines for their turn. So breaking up with my ex means I have someone new right away. My new boyfriend this time is also a rich man. He is 30 years old and divorced. Although he is much older than me, I don't care about age. As long as he has a lot of money, knows how to please me, and is good at sex, that's all that matters. As for age and the issue of ex-wife and stepchildren, I don't care much because I am a modern girl with a similar style to those in the West. Every time I want to sleep, my friend trains me to pay 5 million. After a few times, I discovered that he only sees me as a passing girl and that he doesn't intend to keep me long-term. If I needed a suitable month, I would decide to kick him out. Then I quickly got a new coach, and that person was Bong's father. We had been in love for a few months. Then I accidentally got pregnant because I forgot to take my birth control pills. After that, it was not until I was more than 3 months pregnant that I found out. At that time, my mother was very bitter. She sought my proposal to go to my boyfriend's house to discuss the wedding. My coach's family at that time looked down on my family. But because they thought about the child in my belly and their son's determination, they had to agree to let the two children get married. Because I was not old enough, the two families only organized a wedding and brought the bride home, waiting until I was old enough. Then they went to register later. However, because I was childish and my husband's family was too picky and always paid attention to their daughter-in-law, when I gave birth to Bong, my husband and I went our separate ways because of differences in opinions and because I hated the constraints of being scrutinized by my mother-in-law. When my daughter was almost a month old, I took her back to my parents' house and refused to return to my husband's house. My parents were helpless when they had a daughter who was both playful and thoughtless like me. Since then, Bong has been taken care of by her grandmother alone, but how could a 17-year-old who was always playing around like me take care of a child? Since then, Bong is 3 years old, but I still don't have a stable job, and frankly, I don't work. I live an extremely modern and quite pragmatic life. In the past 3 years, I have been with many young men, old men, and even married men. But if he is discreet, knows how to wipe his mouth, and has a lot of money, I can still accept it. And the money I spend is the money my boyfriends give me. I don't work, but I still have money to spend comfortably, even have surplus. Every month, I still have money to give my mother $5 million to raise my girlfriend. I also buy all the necessary things for my mother. I have a luxury SH motorbike. During the day, I dress stylishly and beautifully to go to a coffee shop alone. At night, I go on a date with my boyfriend at a VIP hotel. I am beautiful. I have the right? I am happy. I have money to spend comfortably, and I don't have to limit my life to anyone, so I feel very comfortable with my current life. But recently I have started to encounter many troubles, as if this year is my unlucky year. Whenever I have an affair with a married man, his wife immediately finds out. Obviously, I have been very careful. But every time I went to a hotel, I got beaten up. That's how unlucky I was. One day, I was lying on the bed, eyes half closed, enjoying my boyfriend burying his face and groin in my bed, when there was a loud knocking on the door. Open the door. You son of a bitch. Open the door. Open it so I can see who's inside. I was in a daze and suddenly woke up. Is that you're lying dead? You said your wife is stupid. She doesn't know anything. I didn't expect her to smell it so fast. If she hits me, I'll kill you. Now think of a way to escape. He and I were frantically getting dressed, outside the door. The knocking and his wife's voice kept getting louder. They started kicking the door loudly. You sons of bitches, if you don't open it, I'll break the door down. I was frantically wearing only a slip dress. I was in such a hurry that I couldn't wear it, so I stuffed it in my bag. I opened the window. Luckily, the hotel window was designed to open automatically, so I climbed out onto the balcony and locked the window so I wouldn't be discovered. But when I climbed out, I realized I was on the 5th floor. Now climbing down to escape would be a problem. The cool wind blew my skirt up, and Slip wasn't wearing it. I held onto the railing with one hand and pulled my skirt up with the other to cover it. Why was my luck so bad? In the room, my wife had broken the door and rushed in, but only saw her old husband. She searched the whole room. Where's that girl? Where's that girl? Where's that girl? Where did you hide her? There's no one there. You're just talking nonsense. What's the point of going to the hotel without going to a prostitute? I was walking on the street, and I needed to go to the bathroom. So I came here to go to the bathroom, and then I'll go home. Where did the prostitute come from that you keep thinking about all sorts of things? Shut the fuck up. There's no one, and the hotel is just for going to the toilet. I'm not stupid enough to let you fool me. Where is it? Where is it? I can't stand outside the balcony forever, because if that wife comes down to the gate and sees me, I'm dead. So I have to find a way to escape before she finds out. I risked climbing down to the 3rd floor. My hands and feet were shaking, and my skirt was lifted up to my waist, exposing my butt, which was embarrassing. Luckily, I climbed down to the 3rd floor and saw that the window of that room was open. I was so happy that I climbed in and fell down. My skirt was lifted up, exposing my butt, on the bed. The couple who were climbing on top of each other saw me coming in through the window, and they gasped in surprise. Who are you? How did you come in from there? Are you watching us? I stood up and smiled slightly. Just a little. I'm running away. Can you two give me a ride? Yes, you go. Those two people quickly let go of each other and wrapped themselves in blankets. I walked past and turned back, clicked my tongue, and said, "Hey, my cousin is a bit small." The two of them froze. I slowly opened the door and went out. I took the bike and went to the coffee shop across from the hotel to wait and see what the old man's result would be. I had just ordered a cup of peach tea when I saw the old man and his wife come out. The old man's face was swollen from being punched. His face was distorted, and the wife was aggressive and cursing her husband nonstop. I drank my water and muttered to myself, "Stupid. Not going out with a girl, but still stingy with money. That's really unlucky. Told to give 20 million, and then when I got to the hotel, they deducted 5 million from him. That's how unlucky I am." I leisurely returned home as if nothing had happened, because I was used to running away like that. I gave my mother 10 million, and I kept 5 million for pocket money. My mother was poor, so holding 10 million in her hand was also very touching. She sighed and said, "Everyone likes a lot of money, but I'm afraid you will suffer. Why don't you fill out the paperwork and go to work for a company?" I clicked my tongue and said, "Working for a company is hard work for a whole month to earn 5 million. What can you do, Mom? It's a small amount of money, but it doesn't affect anyone, my child." "Oh, my mother, I only need to go out for one night. I already earned 3 months of salary from the company. You told me to go work for a company with a salary of 5 million a month. How can I do that, Mom?" "Tao, you can't live a loose life like this forever, my child." "What is a loose life, Mom? That sounds strange. I live very seriously. Don't listen to the neighbor's nonsense. You are my child, so you have to believe me." With my sweet mouth and my super talented speaking skills, my mother didn't say anything more. She went out to pick up baby Bong, and I took a shower and went to bed. However, when bad luck comes, no matter how much you avoid it, it's still as bad as a dog, and I'm not always lucky enough to escape the hands of the tigress. One day, my old lover called and informed me that his wife, the tigress, was on a business trip and wouldn't be back for a week. So he said that his wife would be away for a week, and he and I could have fun together. He called and said that if I came to his house, he would give me 20 million, because he was afraid that if I went out too much, acquaintances would see me. So I pretended to be someone in line to go to his house, and stayed at his house. Finally, bad luck came to me. The old man and I were bathing each other in the bathroom when his wife came back with 5 other women. It turned out that his wife pretended to go on a business trip to catch her husband cheating. Those women broke the bathroom door open and saw their husband hugging a girl. They got mad and rushed in and beat me. I was ambushed, so I couldn't run. I was tortured to death by the 5 women, and because it was their own house, no one knew who was who, so no one saved me. My face was scratched so hard. My hair was cut into pieces. Chili was rubbed on my private parts, and I was thrown out on the street naked. Luckily, people nearby gave me clothes to wear and took me to a nearby hospital. After that, my notoriety became even worse. It took a month for the wounds on my body to heal, and because of too much notoriety in the eyes of everyone. I was a bad bitch who hooked up with men to get money. So wherever I went, people cursed me terribly. One day, when I went to buy groceries at a grocery store, the saleswoman wouldn't even sell anything to me. All the women in my neighborhood ostracized me. Knowing that it would be difficult to live peacefully at home, I thought about going far away to work. I called my friend who was working in another city, about 200 kilometers away from my house, and asked him to rent me a house to live in. He really liked me, so he agreed right away, because he also wanted to live near me so he could easily flirt with me. So he rented a 2-story house for me to live in, right next to his rented house. I left all my savings of tens of millions to my mother to raise my daughter. I went to the city with nothing. Although I am a terrible mother, I always do everything to give my daughter the best life. So I left all my money to my daughter. I rode my SH to the city, because I just came and didn't bring any money. So I borrowed money for buying things, food, drinks, and spending for my friend. To be honest, I'm taking advantage of him. Later, when I find a better match, I will kick him out right away, because I know my personality best. My friend's name is Ty, the same age as me. Ty also dropped out of school early and worked hard to earn money. Now he is working as a chef at a famous hotel with a salary of 30 million a month. Ty was courting me, so he spoiled me a lot. Rented a house for me for 5 million a month as soon as I came. He gave me 20 million to buy necessary things, and after work, he would go home quickly, take a shower, and then come to my house to take me out to eat regardless of day or night. A girl with a beautiful, sexy body and good at talking. Ty was captivated by my beautiful smile and sparkling eyes. Ty asked me to work with him, but I didn't like being a kitchen assistant, so Ty said he would find me a lighter job, but in the city. If you want to find a job that is both leisurely and well paid, the only way is to work as a prostitute. There's no job that is both leisurely and well paid for a blind and greedy person like me. During the time I didn't have a suitable job, I depended on Ty. He proposed to me, but I kept quiet and said I would think about it. On the other hand, I took the initiative to flatter Ty so that he would support me. So I let him sleep with me. From then on, Ty became even more intoxicated with love. Ty thinks I am his world. No matter how much money he earns, he gives me everything. Whatever I say, Ty listens. He is infatuated in my loving arms, because I am not only beautiful, but also good at sex. And men in this world, as long as they satisfy their desires, they will be controlled by their lover, and they themselves are willing to be controlled. During the day when Ty goes to work, I am free, so I often go to drink coffee alone. I often sit in a luxury coffee shop in the city center. This VIP coffee shop is the destination of the richest people in the city. Because I come here often, I become a regular customer of the shop. As soon as they see me come in, the staff already knows what I want to drink, and then I met Kwong, an extremely handsome and super rich man. Kwong often comes to the coffee shop to sit alone, and so do I. I am impressed with this man who drives a supercar and uses a Vetaphone. The clothes he wore, the watch he wore, his shoes were all expensive brands. He had 2 Vetaphones and a new iPhone. Oh my God, why is he so rich? I sat there observing him from A to Z. He was sitting alone. I thought he probably didn't have a girlfriend. I thought to myself how to approach him. I sat there thinking of ways to approach him, but couldn't think of any. If I were to go up and take the initiative to get to know him now, I would feel inferior. He should be the one to take the initiative to get to know me. Finally, I thought of a way. I took out my phone and called my mother. Then I talked while walking past him to go to the bathroom, and I would bump into the chair he was sitting on. That was the most reasonable way. At this time, I waited for the right moment when he picked up the phone. Then I walked quickly and bumped into the chair he was sitting on, making him startled and drop the phone. By reflex, he would bend down to pick up the phone, and I would also bend down to help him pick it up, making him have to grab my hand. And the moment he grabbed my hand, he and I looked at each other. I gave him a beautiful smile, making him shy to look down, and of course he saw my chest. Suddenly he saw a beautiful girl smiling charmingly, with a golden body curve. How could he be calm? I saw him flustered, so I gently said, "I'm sorry, are you okay?" He hesitantly said, I'm okay. I'm so sorry I dropped your phone. Is it scratched? Let me see. It's okay. I'm so sorry. Then I'll invite you to have coffee. He happily nodded. Okay, then sit with me. Yes. I smiled to myself. So I successfully approached him, sitting down to drink coffee. He began to introduce himself. Hello. I'm very happy to meet you. My name is Kwong, 28 years old, and you? Yes, I'm also very happy to meet you. My name is Mai Tao. I'm 19 years old. Sitting and talking with Kwong, I found out that Kwong is the general director of a large corporation. He just inherited the family business because his father unfortunately had an accident in the past. So he is the only one managing all the current work because the work is a bit much, so he doesn't have a girlfriend. I smiled that I will be Kwong's girlfriend. After that, we also gave each other phone numbers to contact each other when we were free. I thought the fish had taken the bait, but it wasn't. Kwong was very busy, and he quickly forgot about a normal girl like me. A few days later, I slept with Tai at night. But during the day, I dreamed about Kwong. I went to the coffee shop, but didn't see Kwong, and Kwong didn't call me either. What was he doing that he didn't call me? I started to find out where Kwong's company was, and I took the initiative to contact him. When I called, he picked up the phone and said, "Mr. Kwong, this is Mai Tao. Why haven't I seen you at the coffee shop lately?" "Oh, Tao, you've been so busy lately that you haven't been able to come. When are you free? Come over to the coffee shop and have coffee with me." I immediately flirted. "Yes, I haven't seen you for the past few days. and I feel like I miss you. Do you crave coffee, so I can ship it to you? I crave coffee too, but I'll come when I'm free. Who would blame me like that? It's okay, I'm free. So let me earn some money to ship it. It's so hard these days. I kept teasing Kwong like that, and finally Kwong agreed to let me ship coffee to his office. As soon as I entered the company, I was dazzled by his family's fortune. What a rich person. I wondered what would happen if one day I became the owner of this fortune. I knocked on the door and called out, "Hey Kwong, Tao, come in." I pushed the door open, walked in, and smiled. "Hello, boss. I've brought coffee for you." Kwong stood up, pulled out a chair, and invited me to sit. "Tao, sit down. Was it easy to find your company?" "Yes, it's easy to find. You're really good." Kwong scratched his head shyly. "What are you good at?" I immediately flattered Kwong to the fullest. "You're both handsome and talented. I really admire you." Kwong scratched his head shyly. "What are you good at?" I immediately flattered Kwong to the fullest. "You're both handsome and talented. I really admire you. Do you have any work for me? I've been unemployed for months and am about to starve to death." Kwong immediately said that his assistant had just asked for a month of unpaid leave to deal with some things. If I hadn't started working yet, I could come here to be his assistant. In a month, when his assistant started working again, he would ask HR to arrange a sales job for me under the counter. Would you agree? I immediately thought that I could be his assistant, but never a salesperson under the counter. I pretended to be happy and accepted the new job right away. "Thank you so much. When will I start work?" "Starting tomorrow. I will be there at 8 a.m., so you can guide me through the work." "Yes, sir." I sat and talked to Kwong for a while before I went home to prepare for a new job tomorrow. When I got home, I opened my wardrobe and thought about what outfit I would wear on my first day at work, what shoes I would wear, and then I looked at myself in the mirror. I was determined to seize the opportunity and become Kwong's personal secretary, and in the future I would be a very important person to him. I smiled to myself and thought that I was beautiful. I had the right, and no one could stop me from climbing to the highest position, including Tai. I stood in front of the wardrobe for a long time, but there were only a few outfits that I was satisfied with. There were many outfits that I found unsuitable for office work, because before I only wore 2-second skirts or shorts and tank tops. So now those outfits were not suitable for my job. So I took Tai's ATM card to buy clothes. I went to some famous brand clothing stores and bought 5 white shirts and 5 skirts, 5 pairs of shoes, and many other accessories. In a flash, I had spent tens of millions of Tai's clothes. Seeing the money deducted from my account, when I got home from work, Tai immediately asked me, "Are you going to withdraw money today, Tao?" I turned back to look at Tai and asked if I didn't agree to buy some outfits for work. It's not that I didn't agree. It was because I saw the money deducted from my account, so I asked you, "Are you going to work soon? Where are you applying for a job?" "I work at the Hai Kwong Group office." Tai looked at me in surprise. "You work at the Hai Kwong Group office? I thought you only finished 9th grade. I sighed and said in an unhappy voice, "So it turns out you think I'm uneducated and have no qualifications. It's not like you need a degree to work in an office." Tai quickly hugged me and apologized profusely. "I'm sorry, I never meant it like that. Tomorrow I'm going to work, because I don't have any clothes to wear to work. I used your ATM card to buy it. If you're not happy, wait a month until I get my salary, and I'll send it back. You don't need to pay me. My money is your money. I've given you the card, so you can spend it freely." "That's right. If you don't like it, just tell me straight, and I'll move somewhere else and not bother you anymore. Don't be mad at me anymore, okay? You're going to work tomorrow, so let's go out to celebrate." "Okay, I won't go anywhere and waste your money. My account still has money. Let's go out to eat." That night, Tai took me to eat at a Japanese restaurant. At night, when we went to sleep together, Tai hugged me tightly and whispered, Honey, I love you so much. We haven't gotten married yet. Why do you call me wife? We'll get married at the end of this year. Take it slow. You haven't settled down yet. What do you worry about? I can support you. Just know that we're still so young, but you should focus on your career first. I want us to get married and then focus on business, honey." I closed my eyes and pretended to be asleep, not answering Tai anymore. Tai thought I was asleep, so he kissed my forehead and hugged me to sleep. This morning, Ty cooked breakfast for me and said, "Wife, why don't I pack my clothes and move here to live with you? It'll save me from having to travel back and forth, and it'll be more convenient for me to take care of you." Of course, I never agreed. I have so many plans for the future. How could I tie my life to Ty so simply? My life here has just begun, and besides, I'm only 20 years old, still very young. There's still many opportunities, and if I don't have 1 billion VND in my account, I won't get married. 3 years ago, I foolishly followed the call of love. In the end, that love broke up early, and I had a baby. So now, before deciding anything, I have to think carefully. Besides, Ty is not the type of person I like. I'm with Ty because I don't have anything in my hands right now. After I've stabilized, Ty and I will go our separate ways to end our temporary relationship. I finished eating breakfast, and then I gently said, "I also want you to stay with me for convenience, but my mother and the little Cotton will come here to visit soon. And you know my mother. If she sees you here, she will make me go back to my hometown immediately. So do you want me to stay here or go back to my hometown?" Ty quickly said, "I want you to stay here. I'm going back to my hometown. We're hundreds of kilometers apart. How can I stand it? Then we have to accept each other being in a different place. We can't go home together for now." "Okay, I can wait. I'll wait until the day we go home together." "Yes, I've finished eating, so I'll get ready for work. Today is my first day. I'll come a little early, so you can wash the dishes." "Yes, thank you. You don't need to thank me. Taking care of me is my responsibility." I went back to my room and moved my lips to send the idiot away. Then I changed my clothes, put on light makeup, and went to Kwong Hai Group. Hai Kwong told the civil department, "She is my friend. She will temporarily be my assistant. She just arrived, so she doesn't know. So she will just do odd jobs for me." "Yes, sir. How much salary does the director plan to pay her?" "Maybe she will only work for 1 month, so pay her 20 million. When Assistant Kim starts working, then we will calculate." "Yes, I understand." I sat and chatted for a while, then the lady from the civil department called me over. "You are Tao, right?" "Yes, sir." "Come here. I will discuss with you a bit about the work and principles of the company." I didn't see Kwong come out to greet me, so I asked, "Where is Kwong?" "The director is busy with a lot of work. The director told her to hand over the work to me." I was a bit disappointed. I thought Kwong would come out to welcome me and introduce me to the people. I didn't think he would be so indifferent to me. I was a bit upset. I thought to myself, just wait and see if he would fall head over heels for me. My job is very simple. For example, if the director needs something, I will go get it for the director, then make coffee and get documents. And every time the director goes somewhere, I will take a notebook and a pen with me to take notes on what is needed. The job is both light and doesn't require a degree, but I asked him to let me learn how to use the computer. My purpose is to rise higher, and my desk is always in the director's office, so I have a lot of opportunities to be with Kwong. I am looking for opportunities to be intimate with him. At noon, I held a cup of coffee and politely invited him. "May I invite you for coffee?" Hai Kwong nodded, but his eyes were still glued to the computer. I asked softly, "It's noon. Why don't you take a break to ease your fatigue?" Hai Kwong looked at his watch and said, "It's lunchtime. You should eat. Go straight and turn right at the end of the stairs to the company cafeteria." "Okay, then you and I will go eat. I'm going out to eat with my friends. You can go eat alone." "Yes, sir." I went down to the cafeteria, got my tray of food, and sat down at the table to eat alone. Because I was new to the company, I didn't know anyone. At the table opposite, there were 4 women from the civil service department eating together. One of them looked around and said, "Hey, didn't I see the director come down to eat?" Another woman said, "The director must have gone out to eat with his girlfriend." "You mean the woman who came here the other day?" I thought so, because I saw her arm around the director very affectionately. That's so sad, man. Does my idol, the idol of my heart, have a girlfriend? The ladies burst out laughing. Stop. Stop being delusional. Who are you to dream so high? I sat down to eat and thought to myself, Hai Kwong has a girlfriend? But what if he has a girlfriend? Whatever I can't have, I want to have it even more, and I will definitely snatch it away. I sat down to eat and surfed the phone. The ladies in the civil affairs department were chatting about the director until they were bored. Then the ladies glanced over at me. The lady waved at me. "Hey, come here so I can ask." Hearing that voice, I felt unhappy, but because I just arrived and didn't know anyone, so I was still happy. I went to her table and sat. "Yes. Did you call me?" "Yes. I saw you sitting alone, so I called you over to sit with me for fun." "Yes, sir. My name is Nguyen, and this is Ms. Mai, Miss Tuet, and Ms. An. Your name is Tao, right?" "Yes." Ms. Nguyen started asking about me. "What university did Chuang Tao go to?" Before I could answer, Ms. Mai immediately said, "She is in her 20s. What university did she go to?" "Oh, so she didn't really go to university? Then how did she get into Hai Quang?" I knew the ladies were trying to make fun of me, so I laughed and said, "If you don't have a university degree, you can't work here, right?" "That's right. Our company all requires a degree. But if you come here without a degree, I find it a bit strange." I smiled lightly, "Because you are Hai Quang's friend. I've known him for so many years, but I've never met you. Could it be that you just met him?" I smiled softly and replied, "Yes, I am a friend, but a special friend." "What does a special friend mean?" I whispered into Nguyen's ear. "Special friend means that lover." After saying that, I stood up and walked back to my room with a very arrogant attitude, making the girls extremely annoyed and angry. He is the director's lover. This is really creepy. Probably using his body to trade. That's why he was able to work here. So pragmatic. But I have to admit it's really beautiful. In everyone's eyes, I'm very close to the director. But in reality, the director is very normal to me. He only sees me as an assistant, nothing more, nothing less. So I want him even more. I started planning to flirt with him. Every time there are two people in the room, I start to flirt. I even intentionally expose my chest for him to see. Many times standing next to him, I intentionally stand close to him, letting my body touch his. But for the past half-month, he still hasn't glanced at me. The colder he is, the more I like him. He's exactly the type of person I like. Handsome, talented, and super rich too. Today I had the chance to go out with my boss. I was determined to seduce him. Finished work early on the way back to the company. I immediately seduced Hai Quang. "Boss, I'm so hungry. Let's go eat something?" Hai Quang nodded and thought, "Are you hungry? Okay, so what do you want to eat?" I gently spoke in a sweet voice full of bait. "Yes, I'll give you anything, as long as I'm by your side. If you like something, just say it, so I can take it." The opportunity came. I immediately said, "If I said I liked you, would you be moved at all?" Hai Quang looked at me and smiled. He blushed and drove into a famous restaurant, sitting down to eat. I took off my shirt to be more comfortable. I wore a tight-fitting shirt, revealing the beautiful curves of my body. My eyes were a call for love. To add to the romantic flavor, I ordered a bottle of wine, then drank with him. A little bit of alcohol. My eyes were even more flirtatious. I began to see Hai Quang confused. He didn't dare to look straight at a charming girl like me immediately. I took the opportunity. I pretended to be drunk and leaned on his shoulder. I intentionally wrapped my arms around him and pressed myself against him. "Hai Quang, I like you." Hai Quang was silent. I continued to speak. "I don't know why. I like you so much. I really like you." Hai Quang turned to look at me. I immediately kissed him. At first Hai Quang sat still, letting me do whatever I wanted. Then he couldn't resist. A sexy girl like me. And he started responding to me with a tight hug and a passionate kiss. I knew he was feeling me. So one of my hands started to go up to his tail and gradually moved towards a sensitive spot. I saw his things start to stick out and grow. I put his hand on my horse to increase his feeling. "Do you like me?" She asked me frankly and without hesitation, making Quang confused. But in the end he also fell for a charming girl like me. "I like you very much." In the end I successfully seduced. I must say, Hai Quang is the most difficult person to seduce among all the men who have passed through my hands. But in the end, he also had to fall for me. If I had done it, no man could have passed through my hands. In the moment of love, Hai Quang drove me to the hotel. Then we fell in love passionately. Hai Quang was extremely happy for an experienced girl and good at making love like me. So after 2 weeks of flirting with the director, I succeeded and officially became the director's girlfriend. Hai Quang pampered me a lot. I didn't have to do anything anymore. The director's girlfriend. It had to be different. To please his lover, Hai Kwong transferred me 200 million to buy handbags and clothes. Receiving the money, I jumped up and down with joy. See, loving a rich person must be different. When I have a rich CEO boyfriend, I started to push him away and abandon Tai. Tonight, Tai came. He bought a bag of fruit. What are you doing? I'm just sitting around. I bought some delicious apples. Let me peel them for you to eat, I said while eating the apple. Tai. Yes, it's me. Don't you see that I've changed lately? Tai hesitantly said. What do you want to say to me, right? I hugged Tai and flattered, honestly. I try to be your lover, but in my heart, I always only see Tai as an older brother. Tai, I knew it. Just today, I saw you avoiding me. I also somewhat guessed it. So let's accept each other as brothers. We slept together many times, and I saw you were very excited. How can we be brothers now? I laughed and said, you are a very comfortable person when it comes to sex. I think it's very normal. I hope you understand me. Honestly, I tried my best, but I still can't love you. Tai quickly said in a very sad voice, if I'm not satisfied with you in any way, I will change for you. You can do anything you want. Just please don't leave me. I beg you, Tai. I told you. I only see Tai as a brother, nothing more, nothing less. So, Tai, please understand and sympathize with Tao. In the past time, Tao was grateful to Tai, and I have already used my body to repay Tai. So let's stop here. No one says anything. Tai has raised Tao for a month. Tao has already paid off her debt. So we're debt-free, Tao. Don't leave me. I love Tao so much. Love has to come from both sides. To be happy, Tai. Please understand, Tao. Tao hopes Tai will find someone he loves. Tai is more suitable for Tai than Tao. When I didn't like him, then all the words I said were just excuses. Tai kept begging me not to leave him. Tai even cried right in front of me. But I've made up my mind. Then no one can change my mind. The next morning, I quickly moved to a new place, which I had rented a few days ago, with Hai Kwong's money. Now I'm Kwong's girlfriend, so I have to quickly erase my past. I won't let Kwong know. I have such a loose past. I hide the fact that I have a daughter. I say Bong is my sister, and my parents saved up another daughter, Bong, because my hometown is far away, 300 kilometers away. So Hai Kwong couldn't know, and when he fell in love with me, he completely believed in everything I said. Hai Kwong knew my family was from a poor countryside. My parents worked hard on the fields, so he transferred me another 500 million, so I could bring it back to repair my parents' house. Because he was busy with many things, so he only visited my house for a while. Then he quickly returned to the city. Luckily, Bong was a quiet person, so Bong didn't call me mom much, just having me hold her made her happy. My parents were very obedient, so Hai Kwong didn't suspect anything. When Kwong left, my mother asked me, is he your boyfriend? Yes. Why did you think I loved Tai, your son? I clicked my tongue and said, what's wrong, Mom? How could I love Tai? Tai is both poor and young. Am I wasting my life loving him? My mother was curious about Hai Kwong. She hesitantly asked, so what does he do, my child? Yes, I proudly told my mother. He is the director of a big company. Super rich. Here is 500 million. He told me to bring it back to fix the house for my parents, including the money I saved. I give it all to you, Mom. Take it and fix the house, and help me raise Bong. Why is it so much, my child? He gave me 500 million, with me. 200 million is 700, Mom. Take it all. Yes, Mom, does he really love me? Why do you ask that? He is rich, but our family is poor, and I have a child from another family. I immediately interrupted my mother. Mom, don't mention the fact that I have a child from another family, because I told him, Bong is my younger sister. My mother looked at me with a bewildered look. Did I say that to him? So you're not afraid that he'll know the truth? He'll never know. The distance is so far, he'll never be able to know. But what if Bong grows up? Mom, just help me raise Bong. I'll never abandon her. I'll always be behind and take care of Bong. And Mom and Dad have the best life. Is that okay, my child? Mom is afraid that one day, everything will be exposed. Then you'll be the one who suffers the most. I smiled at my mother and replied, if that day passes, it's okay, Mom. I'll come back to you and Bong. And at that time, I'll have gotten a lot of money from him. Even if he leaves, I won't need him anymore. My mother sighed. It's natural for her to worry about me. but I'm confident. I can take care of everything myself. I stayed home to play with my daughter for a week. During the week, I took her out and bought everything for her and mom and dad. Maybe when I go out into society, I am a bad person, living a worthless life, but I live for my family a lot. I accept being materialistic and taking money from men to bring it back to my family. No matter how much money I earn, I send it all back to my daughter and my parents. Whatever my daughter likes, no matter how expensive it is, I want to buy it for my daughter. After playing with my daughter for a week, I went to the city with Hai Kwong. We dated for a month. Then Kwong Hai took me to his house to meet his family. His father passed away. Now there is only his mother and younger sister. Hai Kwong told me, it is because his father just passed away. So we cannot get married. At least we have to wait another year. I am fine. Just love for a few years, and then get married. It is fine. However, his mother did not agree to let him marry me, because of my humble background and lack of education. His mother's name is Chi. She is 55 years old. His younger sister is Lin, 25 years old, currently managing the family's second company. Chi and Lin absolutely do not agree to let Hai Kwong marry me. They gave many reasons to object: not suitable for each other, not educated, not having a job, poor, living in a poor countryside and far from the city. But Hai Kwong still wanted to marry me, and he defied all the barriers from his family. The day I went to his house, entering the Golden Mansion, I was dazzled. Normally I knew he was rich, but I didn't think he was this rich. He is also one of the billionaires of Vietnam. Entering his house, I was dazzled by his fleet of supercars, a dozen supercars worth billions, up to tens of billions. I had to exclaim that my lover is so rich. I was still daydreaming, exclaiming about my boyfriend's wealth. Then I bumped into his mother. She was standing in front of the door and didn't say anything, causing me to bump into her. I was startled. Oh my God! Walking without any manners. I quickly bowed my head to apologize. Yes, I'm sorry. He didn't say anything, just made a promise, and then went back into the house. I clicked my tongue. What a difficult old woman. Kwong Hai walked over and said, "What's wrong, honey? No problem. Let's go inside." Yes. Kwong Hai and I walked into the house, then saw Chi's mother and Lin sitting in the living room. As soon as she saw me, Lin clicked her tongue. Not classy. Lin spoke softly, but still loud enough for me to hear. But I still kept a happy face. Hai Kwong happily said, "Tao, sit down. Make yourself at home." "Yes, brother." Then Hai Kwong told Lin, "Tell the maid to cook a few dishes. Tao, come here now. I'll be back tonight." Lin clicked her tongue and said in a low voice, unhappy, "I know." Then Hai Kwong got a phone call. He went out to discuss work, leaving me there alone to face two lionesses, and they were staring at me, as if they wanted to eat me alive. In my head I suddenly thought, "Hai Kwong, why did you let me sit down and drink tea with your mother and your sister on the first meeting like this? What should I do?" Mrs. Chi started to speak. "How did you get to know my uncles, Kwong?" I understood that Mrs. Chi was looking down on me. She thought I was not worthy of her son, but I was very confident in myself. I happily replied, "Yes, me and Mr. Kwong Tin met in a coffee shop. I intentionally approached your son." "Right? Why did you say that? Kwong is your son, so you know his personality. He doesn't casually get to know strangers." "Then you're wrong. That's the fate between me and Mr. Kwong." Lin looked up. I said, "You said that to my mother. There's no such thing as fate. This is just a way for you to approach my brother." I remained calm, unshaken. I smiled happily and asked Lin, "So Lin has a boyfriend yet?" My question made Lin speechless, unable to answer, because before going to Kwong's house, I had asked him in detail about his mother and his sister to find a way to talk, and Kwong told me Lin didn't have a boyfriend. For years I haven't seen Lin in love. I calmly asked again, "Why didn't Lin answer?" Lin hesitantly said, "What if I don't?" "Then that's right. Lin doesn't have a boyfriend yet. Then how can Lin understand what fate is?" My words were like a bucket of cold water poured straight into Lin's face. Lin went crazy. She quickly looked at her mother for help. "Mom, did you hear what she said? Now we've only just fallen in love, but she's already so arrogant. If she comes to live in this house, then I don't know how arrogant and rude she will be, Mom." The woman defended her daughter, turning to me and saying, "A lowly person like her, Can't step foot in my house, I happily said. So whose house am I sitting in now? Is this villa borrowed by the label? What did you say? Why do I have to borrow from anyone? This is my villa. You just said that I don't have a door to your house. That's why I said that. I've never seen anyone with a face as stubborn and playful as you. I also said that I don't agree to let Kwong marry you. Kwong's wife must have a family education, must have basic discipline commensurate with my family. You must know who you are. Lin said along. The higher you climb, the harder you fall. Do you hear me? I calmly answered the mother and daughter. Kwong will be the one to decide this matter. So you and Lin don't need to say much, whether it's worthy or not. You and Kwong will know it yourself. I'll also tell you right away that I will never accept you. Do you understand? I understand what you want to say. So let everyone know. What will everyone think when they know that you are such an unreasonable person, forbidding children, and looking down on people like that? While I was fighting with Mrs. Chi and Lin, Hai Kwong went out for something, so I didn't have to be reserved. I was ready to argue with them. The atmosphere was extremely tense. Tin Lin was very competitive. She yelled and chased me away. Go away. The first time you came to my house to meet my parents. But you treated my mother like this, you bastard. Because you two were too much and looked down on me. That's why I'm like this. If from the beginning, you two were nice to me, then I wouldn't be like this. I've never seen anyone come to a boyfriend's house and be as outrageous as you. You bastard, you brat. That's even worse than you. Wanting to be rude, but no one wants to. Who did you just say? Are you deaf? And you didn't hear what I said. Lin raised her hand, slapped me. I was so angry. But because I saw Hai Kwong coming in from outside, so I tried to hold back my anger. Normally, if anyone touched me, I would have jumped up and responded. Hai Kwong saw Lin slap me. He quickly ran in and yelled at Lin. Lin, why did you slap Tao? You're too much. Lin stood up and argued. She's so rude. Is there something wrong with me? But you still ran into her. Are there no more girls in this world? Will you shut up? You're too much. Are you still talking nonsense? Apologize to Tao right away. She's a brat. She deserves to be beaten. I will never apologize to her. Hai Kwong said no. He was furious. He was about to hit Lin again, but I stopped him and said, Kwong, calm down, calm down. She's so rude. She doesn't care about anyone. Let me teach her a lesson. Lin's eyes widened in anger. Kwong, did she really trick you, Kwong? I'm so disappointed in you. After that, he got angry and slapped Lin. I let Kwong slap Lin twice. Then I rushed in and pulled him out. Please, I beg you, don't do that. Mrs. Chi lost her temper. She was furious. So the three of them argued loudly. I stood there watching them argue, and calmly, as if nothing had happened. Mrs. Chi and Kwong argued loudly. She even declared to Kwong, if you insist on marrying her, then you should move out of my house. Hai Kwong was extremely disappointed about his mother and sister, so he nodded in agreement. Okay, I will move out. From now on, whatever I do, you don't have to worry about it anymore. How dare you talk to me like that? To a woman, and you treat your mother and sister like that? Hai Kwong didn't answer. He pulled my hand. Let's go. Hai Kwong pulled me to the door. Then Mrs. Chi and Lin followed. Mrs. Chi said loudly, Kwong, listen carefully. If you choose her, then from now on we are no longer mother and son. Okay, whatever I want is fine. If you want to go, then go. With empty hands. Leave the car and the company to your mother and Lin. Kwong turned back and said, I bought the car myself, and the company was left to me by my father. There's a proper will, so you can't keep it. If you need it, I will pay you 25% of your shares. So we are debt-free. I'm leaving. Hai Kwong still stood there for his mother. Hai Kwong opened the car door for me. Let's go, honey. I gently said, yes. Just hearing me say that sweet yes. Hai Kwong was immersed in happiness again. So if she still said that, he wouldn't listen. Now in Hai Kwong's mind, there was only me. So whatever I said, he listened to everything. On the way to the company, I pretended to shed a tear. Seeing that, Hai Kwong said, honey, don't cry anymore. I started playing the role of a pitiful girl. Or I'll take you back to the countryside. Let's not know each other anymore, okay? Why do you say that? Seeing you go against your family for me, I feel so bad. It's all because I'm too poor. Being poor is really a sin, isn't it? Kwong held my hand and said, "No, I love you. I need you. So I will never let you go. Let's be together happily and joyfully, okay? What about your mother and sister? Let's live happily together. My mother will reconsider later. As for Lynn, whatever she wants to think, I don't care. Yes, my love. Yes. Do you listen to everything I say? So I tell you, stay by my side. I will buy a house, although it can't be as beautiful as a villa, but it's comfortable enough for us." I heard Kwong say that, and I lowered my face and prepared to continue acting. "Kwong, can I ask you for a favor?" "What is it? Just say it." "If you buy a house, can you let me have my name on it? So that every time someone asks what I have in my hands, I can say that I have a house in my name. I don't want people to look down on me anymore. But just now your mother insulted me. Lynn insulted me. I'm very hurt. I'm really hurt." Kwong immediately nodded in agreement. "Okay, the house will be in our name. I'll have full authority to decide from now on." I immediately looked at Hai Kwong with extremely grateful eyes. Hai Kwong patted my head affectionately. He already considered me an important half of his life. With Hai Kwong's wealth, right after that, he bought a luxury house worth more than 10 billion, and we lived together there as husband and wife. Every day, I just stay home to have fun and wait for Hai Kwong to come home from work. I hired a maid, so I don't have to do anything. All day I just play. Then I go to the beauty salon, go shopping, and the rest of the time I go drinking coffee. I enjoy a luxurious life like a queen, and one very important thing that I never forget is to bring money back to my mother. As I said before, in society, no matter how wrong I live, in my heart, family is still the most important. No matter what I do, I always remember my daughter. Every month, I lie to Hai Kwong that I buy this and that, or I save this and that, so that I can save up 100 million, and I send it back to my mother. I hired a designer and built a beautiful house. Inside the house, I bought all the high-end furniture and fully equipped, not lacking anything. I want to open the eyes of the neighbors who used to look down on my mother. My daughter had a very full life, without lacking anything. In just a short time, my parents became rich and had the most beautiful house in my village at that time, and all the money I brought back. My life and Hai Kwong's very happy and very peaceful has passed for half a year now, and Kwong has not seen his mother again since that day. Hai Kwong complained to me several times that he missed his mother and his sister very much. He asked my opinion if he should go home to visit his mother and sister. I did not agree because I did not want trouble, so he did not mention it anymore. I told him since he had chosen me, then he had to be responsible for his choice. He promised to listen to me, so in this case, I am the one who benefits the most. Hai Kwong and his family are just a gold mine for me to dig. No matter how angry Mrs. Chi was with her son, she had no intention of giving up on him. For the past few months, her son had not come home, causing Mrs. Chi to lose sleep and appetite. She wanted to find her son, but she was afraid to meet Tao, the hateful girl who had stolen her son. Lin came home from work and saw her mother sitting in the living room with a sad face. She approached and asked, "What's wrong, Mom? Are you okay?" Lin sat down and sighed, saying, "Mom, do you miss Kwong?" Mrs. Chi said sadly, "I haven't seen him for months. I wonder how he's been doing lately." Lin clicked her tongue and said, "He's been blinded by that fox. He doesn't need us anymore, Mom." Mrs. Chi hesitantly said, "Why don't you agree to let us get married?" Lin looked at her mother in surprise and said, "What did you just say? Now you agree to let Kwong marry that fox? Like that, she will laugh at us, and later she will sit on our heads. But Mom loves Kwong so much. How can Mom abandon her children? I know that too. Even I miss Kwong so much. In the past, he loved me so much. We lived together so harmoniously. But since he got a girlfriend, he has completely changed. I don't know what to do anymore, seeing my mom sad, often sitting and crying alone. So Lin decided to agree to take Mom to visit Hai Kwong. "Mom, let's go visit Hai Kwong for a while." Grandma Chi's eyes lit up as she looked at Lin. "I'm telling the truth. Yes, really. Seeing you so sad, I can't bear it. I'll take you to visit him. Then I'll wait for you to change." Yes, yes, in her head. The thought slipped through her mind. Let's agree to let Kwong marry Tao that way. My mother will be able to live with her son, even though the daughter-in-law is not kind, but living with the children. Then my mother will be happier while waiting for her mother to prepare to visit Kwong. Lin sat in the living room waiting for her mother and thought about whether she should agree to let her brother marry Tao or not. She also thought that maybe when she got married, Tao would change and live a filial life with her mother-in-law and her husband's family. And she herself also felt guilty when the first time they met. She raised her voice at Tao. If that day she had been calmer, if she had spoken more kindly, then things wouldn't have been so serious. Seeing Mrs. Chi prepare so many things like fresh fruit, pork, clean chicken, clean vegetables, country chicken eggs, a full box, Lin immediately said, "Oh my God, why did you prepare so many things? Mom is afraid that Kwong will not have the same food and drink over there as at home. So Mom prepared it for him to eat gradually. Oh my God, he is grown up. He can take care of himself. Mom, who knows if Tao will not take good care of Kwong? Mom is not at ease when Kwong lives outside. Is that right?" Mrs. Chi nodded with a sad face. "Yes." Lin sighed. "Mom, why don't you let Kwong marry Tao? Then tell them to move back here to live. That way Mom won't have to worry like that anymore." Mrs. Chi looked at Lin with tears in her eyes. For months now, Kwong has not been home. Grandma has been very sad. Every day, she longs for Kwong to come back. But the more she longs, the more hopeless it becomes. Perhaps the only way to mend things is to agree to let the two of us get married. Do you really agree? I have thought about it. That day, I was rude to Tao first. Tao was wrong and I was wrong too, Mom. If I had not been selfish that day, then perhaps everything would have been better. Our family would not have ended up like this. Each of us in different places. Don't blame yourself anymore. Tao is so stubborn. That's why she's like this. But now let Kwong marry Tao. Let him decide his own marriage. His life is his, not ours. We can't live for him. Yes, you're right. Let Kwong take care of his own business. Okay. Now I'll take you to his house. I'm sitting here calculating about the new house in my hometown. The house is nice. I've bought a motorbike for Dad. I've saved up for Mom. I've got enough gold for Mom. Now what do I need to buy for Dad and Mom? Then I suddenly remembered. Oh, I remember. I'll buy Bong a piece of land to make a dowry for my daughter. When I grow up, I can do whatever I want. After thinking about it, I started to plan again. I took Kwong Hai's money, opened Kwong's safe. I counted the amount of money Kwong left in the safe. It was nearly 3 billion, plus a few taels of gold that he bought for me last month. I withdrew 1 billion in cash, then sold my gold, and sent my cousin to bring it back to my mother's hometown, so that my mother could go see the land and buy it if she liked it. I got the money. Then I texted Hai Kwong, asking him to borrow it. Then I said I would borrow money from him to buy land for my parents in the countryside. A moment later, Hai Kwong texted okay right away. I read the short message and smiled to myself. Asking for money. It's as easy as eating rice. It's so cool. After successfully asking for money, I brought my clothes to prepare to go out for coffee. I had been lying in bed all morning, so now my body was sore, and I had to go out to relax a bit. The gate bell rang. I went out to see who it was. Then I was surprised to see Mrs. Chi and Lin. I opened the door and said in an annoyed voice, "Dragon coming to the shrimp house. Is today the end of the world?" Lin sighed and said, "My mother and I came to visit on Kwong and her." Mrs. Chi nodded and smiled. "Are you two still well? It's been a long time since we last met. You two, who are your children?" "Tao." "Why? If you want to say something, say it here." Lin saw me standing bored at the door. She immediately said, "Mom came to visit you. You didn't invite her in. Let's go in and talk." I forced a smile and said, "Who let you two in, and you want to come in? My house is not a market. Where do you want to go if you want to?" Mrs. Chi was heartbroken, but she still tried to hold back. As for Lin, she pursed her lips. You're still as stubborn as ever. My mother and I had to lower ourselves to come here to make peace with you and on Kwong. And yet you said such unpleasant words. Are you really that bad, Tao? I stood in the middle of the door and resolutely refused to let Mrs. Chi and her children in. I was stubborn, not as stubborn as you two. Half a year ago, you two looked down on me and even chased me away. Do you two understand how I felt at that time? You two despise me so much. Why are you showing your face here now? Go home quickly. I have nothing more to say to you. It's a waste of time for me and my mother. I thought I would agree to let you and Don Quang get married. You are truly hopeless. I lifted my face and said, you two think that if you agree, Don Quang and I can get married? Then you two are wrong. I and Don Quang can get married anytime. You two go home quickly. Lin was angry. Oh my gosh, I can't even understand what she's thinking. Mrs. Chi said softly. Okay, Tao said so. Then let's go home. I clicked my tongue and said, go quickly so I can help. Mrs. Chi said again, you sent some things to someone. They're all clean. Okay, you go home now. I immediately kicked Mrs. Chi's box and said, take them home. I'm not an orphanage that needs your charity. Lin was so angry that she yelled, what's wrong with you? My mother personally prepared the food for you too. How can you say that? Whatever I say, wear it. Do you have an opinion? You're just a parasite on my brother. Hey, let me tell you. This family's daughter is mine. I don't want to depend on your brother. I have a house and a car with my name on it. You two stop looking down on people like that. It's so low class. I chased Chi and Lin away. That's my personality. If I like something, I like it very much. And if I hate it like spilled water. Chi and Lin left. But I still tried to leave the box of food behind. I intended to throw it in the trash. But when I opened it to take a look, I found everything delicious. So I felt sorry. And I told the maid to put the box of food in the refrigerator to eat gradually. And I didn't forget to tell the maid to keep her mouth shut. Don't say that Chi and Lin came here. Yes, I know. That's good. If you're good, I'll reward you. I remember. Don't worry. That night, Hai Kwang came home from work. I was happy as if nothing had happened. And of course, Hai Kwang wouldn't know that his mother came to find him. However, Kwang and I's happy life started to have problems. Hai Kwang came to the company. He began to wonder. The money in his account was being withdrawn continuously. What was Tao doing that she often spent so much money? At first, Tao asked me before transferring money. But over time, she transferred my money on her own, without asking for my opinion anymore. He checked the money transfer transactions. He saw that most of the money was transferred to some of Tao's cousins' accounts. He scanned through them, seeing that the amount of money transferred was around several billion. Hai Kwang began to have conflicting thoughts about Tao. He began to think. It seemed that Tao only loved his money. While Hai Kwang was still thinking, his phone rang again. The money in his account continued to be deducted by 50 million. Tao kept transferring odd amounts. Sometimes 50 million, sometimes 30 million, sometimes 60 million. He could not understand what Tao was spending on. Then came the day of the shareholders' meeting. He met his mother and Lin at the company. He greeted his mother. She greeted her mother. Mrs. Chi saw her son. She was moved to tears. Is that Kwang? Are you okay? You are okay. I am happy that you are okay. Hai Kwang was about to leave when Lin said, Kwang, please talk to me for a moment. Okay. Then, Mom and Lin come to my office. In Kwang's office, Lin sighed and said, Are you two happy? Kwang hesitantly answered, Yes. That's good. Mom and I have no more opinions now. I can marry whoever I want. Kwang happily said, Are you serious? Really? But you two are strange. That day, Mom got angry and said that. You two just had to endure it for a few days, and then go apologize to Mom, and that's it. But this. Mom kicked me out, and I left. Kwang scratched his head and said nothing. Lin sighed and continued. But I admit, Sister Tao has a long memory. She's still angry with me and Mom until now. Mom and I put our egos down to go to your house to make peace. That's what she meant, but she refused to let me in. She even kicked me and Mom out. What kind of person can hold a grudge for so long? Kwang Hai suddenly asked Lin. What do you mean? Mom and I came to your house? It's been a month. Kwang thought to himself. Why didn't she say anything to me? Mom came to my house. But Tao still chased her mother away. Hai Kwang was a bit disappointed with Tao's behavior. After all, they were his relatives. But why was Tao so cruel to them? Hai Kwang suddenly felt extremely guilty towards his mother. He apologized to his mother, and they sat and talked to each other for a long time. Hai Kwong thought a lot, even though he saw Tao changing more and more all day. But he still wanted to be with Tao. He wanted to end his love with Tao with a wedding. All the unhappy things were over. I was lying in the living room, waiting for Kwong to come home. Hearing the sound of Kwong's car coming home, I went out to greet him. My love. Hai Kwong kissed me on the cheek again. Was my love good at home? Yes, I was very good. Are you hungry? Yes, I am very hungry. Then tell the maid to prepare dinner. Sit down and eat. Hai Kwong looked at me. Tao, I have something to tell you. Yes, listen. Today I will meet my mother. Mom has agreed to let us get married. I'm not very happy. Have you met Mom? Yes. Mom came to my company today. Tao, let's let go of everything that's not happy before. So what do you plan? I will discuss with Mom about our wedding. Then my family will go to your house to talk to the adults and choose a good day to hold it. What do you think? Mom really agrees. What about Lin? Did your mom and Lin agree to keep me? Mom said we'll go back to the villa for dinner tomorrow night. I won't go back. Will she look down on me again? Hai Kwong held my hand and said, Your mom has agreed. That means she has accepted me. There's no way she'll look down on me anymore. You know her personality. After that, she will love me very much. Even though Kwong talked a lot, I wasn't happy because that's my personality. When I hate someone, I hate them very much. After such a quarrel, I lost interest and had no interest in being her daughter-in-law anymore. I just mumbled to get it over with, but deep down I hated Mrs. Chi very much. The next day, Kwong came back early to pick me up and take me to the villa for dinner, but I pretended to have a stomachache and didn't go. I told Hai Kwong to go alone. I didn't want to meet Mrs. Chi and that hateful Lin. Hai Kwong had no choice but to go back to the villa alone. Mrs. Chi and Lin had prepared a small party to welcome their future son and daughter-in-law. She felt very happy and excited. She thought that this time all the problems would be resolved. Her son got married and moved to the villa to live with her. Then she soon had a baby. The more Mrs. Chi thought about it, the more she looked forward to the day she would welcome her child. Lin saw her mother so happy. She breathed a sigh of relief. Everything was over. Now, seeing her mother so happy, she felt very reassured. Everything would be so perfect and happy if Tao could let go of her ego. If Tao really loved Kwong, she would return to the villa with Kwong. Everything would be resolved. Although Kwong had doubts about Tao, he would put aside all his doubts for the sake of this happy event. He would marry Tao, and he would love and take care of her for the rest of his life. However, Tao did not return to the villa with him. Mrs. Chi saw her son coming back alone. She quickly asked, Where is Tao? Tao has a stomachache, Mom. Why does she have a stomachache? Is she better? Yes, she is better, Mom. Please understand. Next time, I will bring her back. Okay, it's okay. Sit down. Here, Mom. I prepared a lot of dishes that you like. Lin, who was in the house, came out in surprise. Sister Tao won't come back with you, Kwong? Yes, Sister Tao has a stomachache. Lin sat down and said, She really has a stomachache. Or does she not want to see me and my mother? Kwong sighed and didn't want to answer. Mrs. Chi immediately said, Okay, let's eat. We still have a lot of time. If we don't meet this time, we can meet next time. You guys eat. Mrs. Chi and Lin accepted it and considered Tao as a family member. However, it seemed that Tao didn't like it. Her and Kwong's life was free and comfortable outside. So now, telling her to come back to the villa to be a daughter-in-law, she didn't like it. A week later, Kwong continued to invite me to come back to the villa to eat with his mother and younger sister. I found another reason not to go. I wanted to go too, but I have a headache. You go home alone. Please send my regards to my mother. This time, Kwong knew that I deliberately didn't come back, so he asked me to. Tao, you don't want to go back to the villa with me, right? Headache is just an excuse, right? It's not that you don't want to go, but I'm really tired. Don't you love me? Then take your medicine and rest. I'll go to my mother's house for a while and then go home. Yes, sir. I pretended to lie down on the bed. I waited until Hai Kwong drove away before I got up. Looking through the window, I smiled. If you don't like it, then you won't go. We're free to spend money here. Do whatever you want. I'll find every way so we can continue to stay here. Hai Kwong drove back to the villa. Mrs. Chi didn't see Tao coming back with her. She asked, "Where's Tao, son?" Hai Kwong sighed. "She's tired, Mom." "How is she? Have you taken her to the doctor yet?" "She has a headache, Mom. When we get home, if she doesn't get better, I'll take her to the doctor." Hai Kwong sat and talked to his mother for a while. Seeing her son's sad face, Mrs. Chi immediately asked, "What's wrong? Do you have something on your mind?" Hai Kwong sighed and said, "I'm sad that Tao has been very strange lately, Mom. She spends a lot of my money and doesn't discuss anything with me. After each time I invite her to come here, she doesn't want to come back. She makes up this and that excuse. I can't understand her anymore." Mrs. Chi sat next to her and encouraged her son. "If you have any questions, please ask her directly. Don't let things be ambiguous, then cause many misunderstandings. Tao is becoming more and more different from me. I'm gradually losing faith in her. I'm afraid I've chosen the wrong person, Mom. If there's anything, please tell me. Did Tao do something wrong to you? I've hired someone to go back to Tao's hometown to find out everything. I'll tell you later, Mom." Mrs. Chi thought about it and said, "Just find out carefully. Then decide. If you don't have faith, then test their hearts." Mom said, "Test Tao's hearts. Try to see if Tao is sincere with you or not. Do you understand what I mean?" "I understand." The next day, the person Kwong hired to go back to Tao's hometown went to see Kwong at the company. "You're back. If you find any information, tell me quickly." "Yes, I found a lot of information about Tao. The first problem is that she just built a house for her parents, the most beautiful house in the village. And Tao just bought 2 plots of land on the street. The price is high. Second, Tao got married at 57 years old, but left her husband. And now Tao has a child. The child's name is Bong. Now she lives with her parents. The third problem is that when she was in the countryside, she was very promiscuous. She often had affairs and was beaten by her husband many times. She had too many scandals. So to avoid trouble, she went to the city and fell in love with a man named Tai. Then when she met someone new, she abandoned him. And that new person was the director." Hai Kwong couldn't believe it. He didn't think Tao had such a complicated past. All day he sat in the office and thought about Tao a lot. Hai Kwong is a good person, so he can ignore Tao's past because he thinks living in the present. No one lives in the past. Tao has a child from an illegitimate relationship. He will be tolerant and consider her as his own child. But he wants Tao to be honest with him. He doesn't want Tao to lie to him. He decided that when he gets home tonight, he will talk frankly with Tao. Kwong and I were sitting in the living room having dinner. Then Hai Kwong looked at me and asked Tao, "Let's talk for a while." "Yes. Do you have something to tell me? Do you love me?" "I do." "Why did you ask that? I love you. Why didn't you tell me the truth?" Hearing Kwong Hai ask, I started to feel confused. I thought maybe he knew about me. Oh no. If I'm exposed, what should I do? I gently replied. Kwong An asked me, "What does that mean? Why did you hide it from me?" "The fact that you have a child." Caught right at your weak point, my heart stopped beating for a few seconds. Then I quickly calmed down. "I'm sorry. You know everything. Why did I lie? I didn't meet you by chance, right?" I started to cry. I cried and said, "Yes, it's true that I have a child. From the first time I met you, I liked you. So I try to get to know you like that. I like you like that. If you think I'm not worthy of you, then I'm sorry. I won't say whether I'm worthy or not, because everyone deserves to be happy. I just asked why you lied to me. Because you were afraid that I would know your situation, your past. You would despise me, look down on me. That's why you hid it from me. Your family is too rich, and I'm too poor." As I spoke, I burst into tears. Immediately, Hai Kwong hugged me and said, "Don't cry anymore. I love you and love everything about you. If anything happens in the future, just tell me straight. I already consider you my wife. There's nothing strange anymore." "Yes, I know." Hai Kwong hugged me tightly. He has accepted my past. I leaned my head on his shoulder and thought. I thought it would turn out to be in the palm of my hand. All the problems were resolved. My feelings for Hai Kwong were as good as before. Once again, Hai Kwong mentioned the wedding. I agreed with him. But after the wedding, the couple moved out because I didn't want to live in a villa. I didn't want to live with my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. He thought for a while. Finally, he agreed with me that after the wedding, we would still live here. I felt comfortable and very confident in myself. A girl who was both beautiful and sweet-talking. I could get whatever I wanted. Everything was happy like a movie. I could get whatever I wanted, just as I wanted. But a month later, Hai Kwong sadly told me that his company was having problems. If he couldn't climb the ladder, the risk of bankruptcy was very high. He went home and opened the safe, taking all the money to save the company. I quickly said, "Honey, you took all the money away, so what'll I have to spend?" Hai Kwong gave me 10 million and said, "The company is having problems now, so you should spend a little more frugally. When the company recovers, we can spend freely. Honey, 10 million is only enough." "Okay, I'll try to help you. I'm going to the company. I'll be home late tonight. You go to bed first." I held 10 million and felt extremely angry. Damn it, if I give myself 10 million, how will I spend it? I quickly called Ms. Nguyen, the company's HR person, to ask, and Ms. Nguyen said that the company was really having problems and the risk of bankruptcy was very high. Hearing the company's news, I started to imagine my life and Hai Kwong's life. After he went bankrupt, life was drowning in debt. The money I spent on shopping and beauty would be cut. I wouldn't have money to hire a maid anymore, and I had to do everything myself. The monthly money sent back to my mother was also gone. I was thinking and feeling so confused. Where would I get the money to buy designer bags again? No, I don't want that life of debt. I'm beautiful like this. I have to live a life of luxury, wealth and happiness, not a life of hardship and poverty. That night Hai Kwong came home very late. I hadn't slept yet, but I closed my eyes and pretended to sleep. Hai Kwong got on the bed and hugged me and was about to kiss me when I pushed him away. Wife, are you asleep yet? You're sleepy. Let me hug you and then sleep well." I pushed Kwong away and said, "What time is it that you're still like this? The company is like this, and you still have the mind to love. The company is like this. Being sad won't solve anything. Let's accept it happily." I snapped. "Why do you think so simply? The company is bankrupt. We will live in debt. Life is so difficult, how can you live like that? Don't think so negatively. There are many people in society who are more miserable than you. People are different from you. Don't compare like that." From that day on, Kwong and I began to be tense and annoyed with each other. I couldn't be happy with a life of 10 million a month. I was used to a comfortable life, doing whatever I wanted, buying whatever I wanted, and spending hundreds of millions a month. But now I had to live in poverty. How could I bear it? Then Hai Kwong announced that I might have to sell the house I was living in to get money to pay the workers. Then I completely collapsed. All my hopes were really extinguished. I lay on the bed and started to think about leaving Kwong. I was too young. I couldn't tie my life down to a man who had nothing in his hands. Kwong's company went bankrupt, and then he was in debt. At that time, he had to pay off the debt for a long time before he could pay it off. Maybe he would pay off the debt for the rest of his life. I locked myself in the house for several days. The mistress also went back to her hometown. Today the house has nothing to eat. I just went out to the market. I was walking on the sidewalk. Then I saw a young man. He drove a blue car past me, then stopped and asked, "Hello, sister. Where are you going so I can take you?" I was feeling uncomfortable inside, so I shouted, "Stay away from me. Why are you so uncomfortable? I just want to talk and get to know you." I was about to curse, but I saw his car was so nice. My friend said it cost tens of billions, not a small amount. He must be very rich. I immediately lowered my voice. "Who are you?" "I don't know you. I'm your neighbor. Every morning I see you exercising on the 3rd floor. "Oh my God. Are you peeking at me?" "Why do you say you're peeking? I'm standing next to my house. I can see you clearly. Your house is across from mine." "Oh, I remember. No wonder I feel so familiar. So where did that acquaintance go, so I can take him?" "I'm going to the supermarket to buy food." "What a coincidence. You're also going to the supermarket. Get in the car, and we'll go together." I was sad and upset. So when I met my handsome neighbor, and we talked quite happily, so I felt a little comfortable. I bought a lot of things at the supermarket, and he paid for everything. His name is Tuan. Just came back from America. Currently, Tuan is a sales director of a large company. Tuan has only been back for a year and currently doesn't have a girlfriend. I'm starting to have an impression of this neighbor. Hi, Kwong is busy tonight, so he comes home very late. I'm so bored at home, I don't know what to do all day. When I have money, I go to the beauty salon and shop. But now I don't have any money, so I just stay home. I'm so bored lying in bed, I don't want to wake up anymore. There's a text message on my phone. I open it to see the neighbor's text message making me smile. Wake up, princess. It's almost noon. I immediately reply. There's nothing to eat at home, so I'm sleeping until the afternoon. That's not good. Get up and go buy breakfast. I'm out of money. Text me your account number. And a minute later, 100 million for breakfast has gone into my account. My neighbor is also very gallant. Since that day, he and I often text and call each other. A week later, I went to his house to drink coffee and received the gift he gave me, which was a diamond ring and a big bouquet of roses. I happily accepted the gift and quickly became his secret lover. After a week of knowing each other, I went to bed with Tuan. In bed, Tuan is a very experienced man. His way of making love is also better than Kwong. I felt a new feeling and was very excited to be with Tuan. Tuan also wanted me to leave Kwong to live with Tuan. He would take care of me and compensate me for the rest of my life. I started to bring Kwong out and compare him with Tuan. At this time, Kwong was a failure. The company was about to go bankrupt, and Tuan was at the peak of his career. Tuan was the best choice for me right now. After half a month of hanging out with Tuan behind Kwong's back, today I decided to move my things to Tuan's house. I will leave Kwong, simply because for more than half a year I have lived with Kwong, but we have not yet gotten married, so breaking up is normal. I told Kwong straight, let's break up. I will leave the house today. Thank you for being good to me in the past, but our fate is no longer, so I regret having to say goodbye. Kwong did not hold on. He smiled and asked me, have you thought carefully? Words once said cannot be taken back. I have thought carefully. Okay. I wish you happiness. I found it strange because Kwong did not hold on or blame me. You did not hold on to me. You have made up your mind. Even if you held on, I would not stay, right? That's right. With my current situation, I will never be able to stay. You're beautiful, but you're too materialistic, Tao. Society is like that now. Not just me, but all girls are like that. If you have money, a decent woman will stay. If you don't have money, a decent woman will stay. If you don't have money, a decent woman will stay. I'll leave you alone. Having said that, I have nothing more to say to you. I wish you happiness. Kwong drove away from the house. I clicked my tongue. He's bankrupt. He's about to become a poor man. But it seems like he's still arrogant. But now I have Tuan. I don't need him to care. The car horn beeped outside the gate. I looked out and saw that it was Tuan. My new boyfriend, honey. Are you done loving? Let's go. Yes, I'm done. I pulled my suitcase and followed my new boyfriend. I didn't even bother to look back at the house that held many memories with Kwong. And Kwong, the man I had to use beauty tricks and many sweet words to attract to my side. But when he fell into trouble, I kicked him out without hesitation. Well, his fate was so unlucky. Who told him to go bankrupt? Without money. It was right for me to leave him. In life today, there's no such thing as a lemon hut and two hearts of gold. Without money, you have to eat dirt. I followed Tuan and lived with Tuan as husband and wife, just like I lived with Kwong before. To celebrate the day we got together, Tuan and I traveled for a week in Da Nang. That was also my and Tuan's honeymoon week. A sweet and extremely happy week. But after traveling back, I began to disillusion with Tuan, my new boyfriend. Living with Tuan, I learned Tuan's true face. He was a womanizer. He flirted with one girl after another. Whenever he saw a pretty girl, he flirted with her, then asked for her phone number while he was living with me. Then I got jealous, and we argued often. He revealed his violent nature and beat his girlfriend. I was really shocked when I knew his true nature after beating me. He drove off with another girl and didn't come home all night. I was lying in my room, crying alone. I suddenly remembered Kwong. I wonder how Kwong is doing these days. Is his life good? The company went bankrupt. What is his job now? Then I blamed him. If he hadn't gone bankrupt, I wouldn't have met Tuan in my life, and I wouldn't have to suffer like this. After Tao moved away, Kwong returned to the villa to live. After being taken advantage of and betrayed by Tao, Kwong became more quiet. Mrs. Chi brought a plate of fruit into Kwong's room. Son, Mom, take a break and eat some fruit. You work day and night like this. Mom is afraid you'll get sick. I'm fine, don't worry. Have you contacted Tao recently? No, she has a new boyfriend. Don't be sad. There will be someone suitable for you. Yes, thank you, Mom. Thanks to you. I know Tao's true nature. Just a little more, and I'll marry the wrong person, Mom. Today, the uncles and aunts kept calling to ask me, is Kwang's company bankrupt? But you still hide it and don't dare to tell the truth? Mom, just tell the truth to the uncles. Tao and I have also broken up. Now, whether the company is bankrupt or not, Tao doesn't care. Oh, Mom knows. Okay, Mom, go to bed now. I'm going to the company now. There's too much work at the company these days. Be careful when you go. I've been lying down all morning until noon, but Tuan still hasn't come home. I'm so hungry, so I got up and went to the end of the alley to buy a bowl of pho. I was waiting for the pho. Then I accidentally met Kwang's younger sister, Lin. Who was that? Someone punched her face, and it was bruised like this. I was so embarrassed. I quickly turned away. Lin clicked her tongue and said, I thought you left my brother. So you must have lived a happy life. Why are you so miserable? I immediately snapped at her to overpower her. Your brother went bankrupt. What are you teaching anyone? My brother is not bankrupt. My brother's company is developing very well. Bankruptcy is just the reason my brother is testing her. Who would have thought the result would be so surprising? A person who lives pragmatically and betrays others like her will never be happy in his whole life, Tao. I stared at Lin with wide eyes. What did you just say? Kwang didn't go bankrupt. He tested me. How could that be? I don't believe it. Whether you believe it or not is not important. I just advise you one thing. Go back to your hometown and live honestly, Tao. After saying that, Lin walked away. I stood there rooted to the spot. My mind was dizzy. I couldn't bear it anymore and collapsed. Where will my life drift to? Dear ladies and gentlemen, our story ends here. After listening to the story, how do you feel? Leave a comment, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video to support the channel. Hello and see you again.